Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Silent Podcast, where we're anything but silent. Today, we're going to be covering Never Have I Ever, Season 1, Episode 7. Yes, you heard it right, just one episode, because obviously we just can't stop talking. So we want to give y'all a break and maybe give you more of us in your week. And I am your host, Sasha Joseph. I'm joined by my co-host, Chappell. How are you?
Sasha, I'm good. I'm happy to be back. I'm ready. I like this episode.
Yes.
And I agree with you. We have to have less long, these episodes kind of long. We get to talk and me and you get to going back and forth. I don't know. It can be kind of long-winded sometimes, but also by giving us one episode at a time, we can slide in more guests. I hear we have people who want to come on.
Yeah, I can't wait to have them all on. And speaking of amazing guests, today we're bringing in my IRL bestie. We have Jason, who you might have heard on Survivor South Africa and The Challenge and some Big Brother stuff. So welcome, Jason. You're here.
Hello, Sasha and Chappell. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to talk about this show that I've only started watching since y'all began covering it. When I heard you were doing the season preview, I watched the whole series in one weekend. And preparing to talk about this episode, I have seen the first 7 episodes of Never Have I Ever today. Even though I wanted to keep watching, I had to stop so I didn't go full spoiler throughout our conversation because it gets so much better as the series goes on.
God. I feel like we're getting deep now, and it's okay, all the frou stuff is out of the way. Now we're gonna be talking about real stuff. I mean, this episode really got me mad where I was like, do I take a lot of notes? Because I know we're gonna get into it, but it's also I don't want to relive what was going on in this episode. So I'm very conflicted. I don't know about y'all.
Yeah, same. This episode's heavy, but I think I'm able to separate myself and say, you know what? It gets heavier. So we can get through this one. If we can get through this one, we'll be okay moving forward.
That's real. That's so real. But before we get any further, I just wanted to plug that make sure if you have any cringe high school stories that you want to share with us or any feedback at all, make sure you're sending it to silentpodcasts with an S feedback@gmail.com. It'll be linked, down below in the YouTube, in Apple or Spotify, wherever you're listening. So make sure you send us some good stuff. And Chappell, I will always remember that we need to get to 17 17 reviews to get this infamous prom picture. So we are at 16 people. Come on. Okay, tell your
16?
mom. Yeah, tell your dad, tell your bestie. I don't know, tell your UN. Get us these reviews because I need to see this picture. And speaking of, I really want to read. I will definitely say it feels like we're just kind of tooting our own horn, but whatever. Y'all left the review for us. So we have one from Summer Down Now. And it says, Sasha and Chappell are a perfect compliment to an already wonderful show. Their coverage of Never Have I Ever is insightful and hilarious. Thank you. Thank you. I love hearing the stories from their childhood, which, thank God, because even if you didn't like it, they were coming out. I just want to make that clear. And I hope they continue to cover similar comedies, which I was like, ooh, please tell us, Summer, what do we need to be covering? Please let us know. And this person said, P.S. I need the 2-date prom photo at Chappell.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. And then P.P.S. I promise not to spank my kids for macing themselves.
Oh man. You know what? See, we open up our lives to people and they just hold us accountable for everything we say.
Exactly.
But that's fine. Thank you so much, Summer. Summer is the owner of, was it Bryce Isaiah the cat? Wasn't that Summer?
Right. I think so. You're right.
Well, thank you for listening, Summer. I'm really happy to show you the picture when the time comes. We just need more reviews, more likes, more subscriptions.
Yeah, and we have one from DD Wilder, who I know I follow on Twitter as well. They're really fun. They said, came for the review, stayed for the podcast. So how sweet is that? But just saying, we're a joy to listen to. We're both open, honest, in the best possible way. Again, thank you, because my mom will not say that. She's like, stop sharing so much on the internet. But I get reviews, positive reinforcement. Thank you, everyone. And it says, never have I ever provided such a great opportunity for these two to share space while we're invited along for the ride. You sure are, people. And those were our like 2 new reviews, which again, thank you, everyone. That was so kind. Just let us know how you're feeling about it all. And with that, let's get into it. We're in episode 7. Never have I ever been a big fat liar. Which, like, please, who has not been? If you're saying you aren't a liar, you're lying already. So, anyway, it's fine. We start the episode with, Devi is like, I'm a pariah. She's dressed like a celeb leaving LAX, is what John McEnroe says. Which I just want to know, what a great way to talk about this stereotype, because to me, it's like the low-hanging fruit would have been a brown person, some terrorist jokes, it's get messy, but like, I want to say writing credit. And then, she wants to be invisible until graduation. And Chappell, this is the wildest part. She's eating lunch in the damn bathroom.
Yeah, and that's a trope we see in a lot of movies and television where it's like, oh, the nerdy girls or the lonely girls go sit in the bathroom. Is that a thing? Do people really do that? Because that's disgusting. Like, that's gross. I don't like public bathrooms. Okay, thank you, Jason.
No, that's like, it's so gross. I have never done it. I've been the new kid at schools a few times in my life. And like, you just go to the library, people. Like, if you don't have friends, first of all, I want to say, this is my rant. American lunch periods are awful because if you're new, you have no one to sit with. And like, if you're any kind of awkward, different, whatever, like, or you're not social, right? Then like, you're screwed. Like, who the hell are you going to sit with? So first of all, go to the library, because that's what I did. And I told my mom, I was like, yo, lunch sucks. I need to, give me something that I can eat in the library for the first few days. Let me get some friends. And I was lucky enough in Oklahoma that I was quickly able to make friends. But, oh my God, it was awful when I was in San Antonio. Like, I went to the library a lot. So never the bathroom. That's freaking disgusting.
Yeah, there was a few times when I was in high school, one of my best friends lived across the country in a different time zone, but we coincidentally had lunch at the same time. So there was a few times where I would eat lunch in my car. It's just so we could talk on the phone and catch up.
Yeah.
We had lunch at the same time, and I couldn't do that in the library, in the school, or at a restaurant off campus with my friends. They would think I'm crazy. So I could relate to Devi a little bit. And I also really resonated with her trying to dodge everyone, because there was a few times in high school where there was someone in our social group that always wanted to tag along with lunch, and we had off-campus lunch. So if I could see him like approaching me from a distance, I would just whip out my phone and pretend to start talking to someone directly towards my car if he didn't want to interrupt the conversation.
No,
I felt like a jerk, but I knew it was a foolproof plan.
Oh my God.
In hindsight, now looking back, that was really mean. I shouldn't have done that. But in the moment, I thought it was really sly. And then this other person didn't pick up on what we were doing.
Yeah. Sometimes people just put you in a position where you just can't say no. And so you just have to kind of either avoid them or, invite them with you. And so it happens sometimes. My thing was, whenever I was in a situation like that, I always was laying the foundation for lunch very early in the day. Like, I don't know who I'm going to sit with. So, I'm a class clown. I have to start connecting with somebody. So when we're walking out of here, I'm like mid joke while they're going to their friend group. Like, look at this funny thing that I just said. Can't I sit with y'all? But listen, everybody wasn't playing the meta game like I was back then.
Oh my God, Chappell, I did that too. That's so funny. I would be like, okay, this is the class. I think I still remember I had Oklahoma history before lunch. So I would be like, great, who do I sit with? And it was a pre-AP class. So I was like, great, it's like nerds like me. Let's go. They were not trying to sit with me. Thankfully, all my track friends were like, "Hello, India, do you want to sit with us? You're new." And I was like, oh God. Which is so funny because they ended up being like my friends all through high school. So it all ended up working out. But and it was we were a group of 15 kids that, always had the principal around us, and it was messy. You can probably tell what color we were. And so, but it was so fun. But I remember being like, who am I going to sit with? I need to decide. I need to figure it out. But oh my God, in San Antonio, I was like, great. So I just need to find a guy that thinks I'm cute, and then I need to sit with his friends. And that's exactly what I did.
Yeah,
So
your
did both
mind.
of y'all have on-campus lunch, or were you able to go off-campus and like leave to go somewhere else?
So I could leave, but I didn't have a car. So it was like,
Yeah.
I'm from inner city Houston. So like when I leave campus, like you got to catch the bus or, you know,
For
or
sure.
like start walking to like a taco stand or some type of restaurant down the street. So a lot of times it really wasn't that convenient. We just did it to do it. It was like, am I going to go find some good food somewhere? No, but I mean, we're grown at this point in our minds. So let's all just go walk in one direction and talk and stuff, you know? So eventually, yeah. But for the most part, you could catch me on anybody's lunch table, just kind of hanging out. Just go wherever I fit in, I guess.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed. Like my mom, like one of the stipulations of getting a car was that you can't be school is school time, period. So my mom was like, I'll ground you if like I hear that you leave. So I definitely skipped classes and went off campus. But it was my conflict management class. Maybe I should have
Okay.
gone
makes
to that
sense.
class.
Okay,
Yeah.
you obviously skipped that one.
But I got a certificate in it, so I technically am trained. Well, I do have a master's in it too, but still, the point is, yeah. So I was not allowed. I was very much like told you can't leave. Like only the bad kids go off campus, according to my mom. No, it's not real.
I was told the same thing. I was such a goody two-shoes. I never skipped class. I would leave campus for lunch, come back, be there the next period. Also, looking back, maybe I should have risked it a little bit more, but because I'm not the best at school. So it's not like I was there getting 4.0s, getting full scholarships to everywhere. Like this was worth it.
Listen, even with the
I couldn't
4.0,
leave.
there was no scholarship this way.
Yeah.
So
Well, in Texas, you need a 4.5. We all know.
Yeah,
that, so.
exactly.
I skipped class without a car. Okay, we'll just leave school on foot and find someone else's car.
Yeah, I would find friends that had cars. But this was only when I was in Texas. In Oklahoma, I had like all my friends, so it was chill. Like I had my squad. But in Texas, I was like, I have these 3 friends. They're all like want to skip class, so like we're gonna do that. Okay, stupid.
Yes.
Don't do that. Just
Sure. Don't do that.
Don't skip.
No, don't skip class.
Education important. Anyway, so Devi is like almost being extorted at this point to get even a vending machine snack. Like this girl she's done. She's walking around Eric, which we know is a hot mess, and he literally can't even stay straight like for the length of a hallway. This man falls. He like drops his raisinets everywhere. Like he's a mess. And then all of a sudden he falls. Devi's exposed. And then we get Chappelle's favorite character, Trent, being like, Coyote girl, I know your secret.
And she's in a full panic at this point because she's been hiding for. It seems like this is her first day back, but she continues this for a few days.
Yes.
So yeah. But when she realizes that her big secret is that she has a hot cousin and Trent wants to holler at her, at that point she's like, oh, I think I made it. No one cares about me. I can move freely. I don't have to be in disguise. Unfortunately, that's not the case. It's just that Paxton doesn't really care. So he hasn't really mentioned it to anyone.
Oh my God, Jason, like I didn't realize, but Paxton he is so cold. Like she's literally air to him.
And I think this is all that Paxton knows how to do. He's done with Devi, moved on to the next one. And he didn't want to bring up Devi and that drama to anyone else because it would make him look bad.
Oh, 100%.
Keep him in the conversation in their mouths instead of this new conversation with him talking to this other girl who's the most attractive girl in their grade. Is that how I believe she was described, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's the same one with the Instagram, which we saw a little bit ago. I forget her name. I also
want to say, I wish we would have seen more of Trent bragging about how he clocked Devi for the hot cousin. Because he was probably bragging to his friends for days in the hot cousin. Like, I know that's Coyote Girl's cousin. Wait till I tell her.
Oh my God. And Trent is like, can you hook me up? Trent, who are you?
High school boys have no limits, okay?
Well,
they're going to shoot.
Yes.
They're going to shoot their shot at whatever. It's be like, could you go away, child? Nobody wants you. But he gave it a shot. But yeah, I think this is clear that Devi just doesn't register on Paxton's radar a lot of times. Like, I mean, they've known each other their whole lives, and she had to introduce her to him on the first episode as if she'd never met him. They have class together, so this is just him kind of just, I guess, this is her trying to punch up, I guess, or something. I don't know.
Exactly.
And before we move on from the Trent exchange, I wish we would have gotten a scene later on in the season of him riding his bike into those recycle bins. And we saw it like pay off with him trying to like keep on Kamala and like get a conversation going with her because there's potential there. He wants it.
Kamala would have been like, "Oh no, they're getting younger and younger. I'm so sorry. Could I help you? Could I make you some food?" And he would have slithered his way into the house.
Yeah, have you heard about Riverdale?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Oh my god. Please, we don't need that. Poor Kamala. She's better than this. And then we get to, them like, Davy's like, cool, let me hang with my squad. Let me get to my lunch table. And then, dragged. They say, sorry, this seat is saved for Jonah. And then Eleanor is so extra. She's like, we are inseparable. He has been our, storm or what, something in a storm, blah, blah, blah. Like, she's so extra. And then Fab starts. Are you could you believe, Chappell, that she's finally speaking her truth?
Yeah, it's like once she told Eleanor, she's like, okay, it wasn't so bad. We can tell Devi. And also, I think a part of them is kind of just they're kind of upset with her. They're like, let me tell you all the things you missed at while you were yelling at us about your stupid stuff, right? Yeah. So it's like, yeah. So I think, yeah, she wanted to tell her, but we like Fab coming such a long way from, a few episodes ago. So she's ready. And she's got Jonah there for support. I mean, we cannot underrate the fact that her and Jonah are going through the same thing at the exact same time. And he is the beacon in their storm or whatever Eleanor said.
The beacon. Thank you. Yes, that's exactly what it was. And then I just couldn't stop laughing because then they go, Jonah's been there for us and doesn't yell at us.
He's not toxic.
I wanted to hear more from John McEnroe when Eleanor and Fab were just giving it to Devi about how much better of a friend Jonah is. And I also want to say I am so here for Eleanor. I just love what she's bringing to this season. She's so dramatic. She's so extra. Yes. And I want to see her be more extra. I think it's so entertaining. And I wish I knew someone like that when I was in high school.
Oh my God.
I would have been friends with them because it just would have been laughter.
Yeah. And she's so unapologetically herself. It's wild. She's just I'm going to be loud and that is who I am. But, Devi obviously cannot be her because she's like, I'm going to deny till I die. Very shaggy approach here. And then, she was like, okay, but I guess I'll apologize. And then they start talking about, we agree. We know you're going through it because we saw that maybe you got dumped. And John McEnroe goes, she's more flowered than the Rose Bowl parade.
That's such a good line because it's Devi is so concerned with people finding out that they, slept together or didn't, that her friends still are just kind of they're past that. They're thinking that they've had a relationship and now the relationship has failed. Devi's still at square one and they are on 3, 4, 5 already. So she's trying to manage their expectations and go back to the original lie that she's covering up for. It's very funny.
Exactly. And then I love how Jonah starts talking about some woke nonsense about being dumb, blah, blah, blah. Shut up. And then because exactly, Devi goes, this is an A, B, and C conversation. Get your D out of here. How you come up with this stuff, Devi?
That was good. I hadn't heard that before. I don't know about y'all, but that took me by surprise.
Well, you normally don't get to D, right? It's an A, B conversation, see your way out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But I think around when I was younger, I think people were trying to figure out a way to make that work because there would be a lot of times where there's 4 or 5 people and they're it's an A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H conversation. I need you to leave, that kind of thing.
That's really good.
That's good.
You just got to work it through. I'm sure there's a letter for anything. Z your way out of here, if there's enough
Zip
people.
out of here. Yeah. Oh my God. We used to be a nacho. What? This is nacho business.
Nacho business.
Yeah.
None of your business too. Yeah.
We were not cool. And then.
But if we all said it, it must have been cool. Because
it got around.
Places, so if it was a thing.
That's at the height of popularity. Yep.
Look at me. And then, Fabiola and Eleanor stick up for Jonah, which I know Devi was probably
She's fuming. Got
it. And then Fabiola is about to be okay, I do have some news to share with y'all. And then Jonah, again, just yapping, says, you don't need to tell her. Who are you? Okay, have you been friends with them for the rest of your, like, since, beginning of time? No, Jonah, shut up. And then again, our friend Devi, being Devi, goes, are you a Gryffindor just like me? Is that what you want to tell me?
Right. And let's be very clear. John McEnroe says they're all Hufflepuffs, but make no mistake. I know a Slytherin when I see one. Come on, Davey. Come home.
Yeah.
Come home.
Yeah, Davy's a Slytherin. Like, get out of here.
Come to the dungeons, Davey. We
she
miss
wants
you.
to be a Gryffindor.
Exactly.
Davy's not brave. Like, I'm sorry.
She's not brave, but she's got some Slytherin traits for sure, though.
She's so vindictive. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
She like Draco Malfoy's girlfriend is Davy. Like she should have been Pansy Parkinson. What Parkinson? Whatever.
Parkinson, yeah.
Parkinson, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, and as someone that always gets sorted into Ravenclaw, that doesn't want to be a Ravenclaw, like I don't understand this. Because why would you want to be one? Just be a Slytherin. They are so much better.
Yes, we are. It's the place to be.
But I literally like laughed out loud when McEnroe was like, they're all Hufflepuff. Where I was like, oh, mean. And then Fabiola finally shares that she's gay, which I appreciated Davy. Thank God she didn't Davy this up. And she was just like, this is huge. I'm happy for you. It makes so much sense. Why, and like, I get now why you said James Corden in Cats was your ideal man.
That's a choice. That's a choice. First of all, Cats looks terrifying. Like I saw the previews and the commercials.
I've never seen it.
I'm talking about the trailer, but it's got like that tail coming out there. Like, so anybody who can look at something that was on that screen during Cats and say, "Oh yeah, that's attractive," yeah, like we might want to like, okay, well, what you got going on over there? Because I don't like that. That was a choice, Fab. It was definitely a choice.
Oh my God.
But it's a good test. If you say something like that, you're really testing to make sure your friends are listening and hearing you and thinking they know who you are. Because I saw this video online yesterday of James Corden doing some like dance in the streets for Cinderella. Did y'all see this? Like, and I couldn't watch it. It was unbearable. How could anybody like him and actually like stand by that without grinning that they're attracted to that guy the way he is?
Well, he's got a wife.
I'm sure he does. He's very wealthy.
Yeah, attractiveness, is in the eye of the beholder. But she said her ideal, like, man, like it was that specific person in that specific role. So this is just a bridge too far for me to believe. And so, yeah, at least I probably would have thought we needed to take her to therapy at the very least. But my favorite part of this moment is Davy being like, oh, that's why Jonah's here. Oh my God, that makes sense.
This is something I would do for sure, where I would, and then she was like, oh, because he's a progressive young man, obviously. And then he says, no, I'm a baby Buttigieg. Said no one ever, dude. Like,
no
please.
one ever. But
no, it's a thing now.
Reference.
Yeah, someone now has picked that up. Like they're running with it. They heard that and was like, yes, I'm putting that in my phone. I'm tweeting that out. Baby Buttigieg.
Yeah, like Pete Buttigieg, which I was like, okay.
Yeah, I guess.
Of all the gay men in the world.
Look, his ideal.
Yeah, you do you, Jonah. Maybe Pete Buttigieg like gets close to Mariah Carey. We don't know. Maybe that's why. Maybe. Don't know. And then, Davy's like, I'm going to make it up to you, Fab. We're going to make it through. It's okay. And then Jonah was like, yeah, sure. And then, Davy just hated this. So she's like, we're going to have a girls only, no boys allowed sleepover. Which, Jason, I have to know, were you allowed sleepovers? Because maybe this is something, Chappell, we ask all our guests. But, like, were you allowed?
Yeah, let's do it.
I think you should definitely ask everyone. I was not really allowed at that many sleepovers. There was like 3 I can remember going to before I got to high school. And then I was in this like big Jewish youth group that would have like large sleepovers with 20, 30, 40 people.
Yep, been there.
It took one of my friends convincing my mom to let me go to this. And I really played like the FOMO card. Like all my friends are going, I'm trying to fit in with this new group. Like, please let me go. And it finally worked after not my convincing, but the convincing of one of my other friends who was older that like gave the real talk to my mom and said, you want him to make friends? Like, let him go to this stuff.
Wow, so my
I
mom
was
would
always
let me
there
go.
most of the time. Oh, she did, Sasha?
My mom let me go to anything Jewish. It was like, yeah, go. And I just want, to this day, I don't understand it because I was allowed to go to Jewish things and boys were there. Like, and it was like, I was a freshman and it was 12th grade boys there. So I'm like, Mom, how did you let me go? It was after, and it was after the dances. So we'd be dancing and all this stuff, and your hormones are raging, and then you go to a sleepover with everyone. That's so
with 50
reckless.
plus people.
Oh,
imagine being parents letting all these teenagers come to your house. My parents did not want that in their house.
My mom was like,
found
absolutely
another
never.
place to host it at when I won the bow thing. And they're like, oh, this other person, they're going to have everyone over. Like, come over the next day.
Yeah. Jason, you and I were probably at the convention that I got my first kiss at, which is so crazy to think of. But we didn't know each other. But it was in Dallas.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we were that's what's funny is like I was allowed to do that, but like not sleepovers with my high school like friends or like people that my mom didn't know.
And being at a convention for an entire weekend with some 200-300 teenagers, that is much more risky
not
than
enough
having a sleepover
adults.
with like 2 other people. Like, come on, like weigh the odds. What's worse?
Yeah.
And let me tell you, like all the stuff I learned was at those conventions. It was not like at my friend's house.
Yeah, it's underrated how much like stock people's parents put in religion.
Yes.
They say like, oh, this is a religious function. You can go. Make no mistake, my mom was not that parent. My mom was like, vacation Bible school? Absolutely not. You want to go where? What's that Sunday school that you can't see at regular church service? What's that? I was like, Mom, but all the kids are going there. And she's like, and you going to be at the regular one because you need an advanced Bible study. You don't need no Sunday school. She shut me down. My mom knows me. If she doesn't know anything else, she knows her kid. And I had no business. So I could never see myself at a 50-person or a 5-person sleepover. But I want to know, where are the people who are hosting these sleepovers? Because all of our guests are like, no, or I could go to a few, or I could go to one if it was religion. But who was the person who's like Davey, who's like, I got the snacks, my friends are coming over, my parents are cool with it. I need to talk to that person because I just don't understand how that happened.
My parents are like that now. Like now, if my friends come over, like they'll have food. Like my stepdad is like, do you want pizza? Like I'll make you pizza. Or, you know, so they do it now. But like I did have friends. Like I had one friend who actually her mom, so I'd stay the night and then her mom would take me to church in the morning and then drive me home.
Sounds about right.
So it was, but yeah, they were like, they had like 5 kids in the house. So I think all the friends ended up hanging out at their house.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have to find it. One of our guests is going to say the things, and I'm gonna be like, yes, give me all the deets because I don't understand.
How did you convince your parent? But I think I want to be that parent where like I want everyone to come to my house and like be chill.
You're the cool mom.
Because I know everything you could do. So like I'd rather you do it at my house. So I can catch you and kill you if you do anything. No, I think my kids will be really scared of me. But yeah, and then we get to the sleepover and you know, it's popping. Like Davy's like, I got snacks, I got movies, I got fake beer pong set up. What do you want? I got it. I'm the plug. And then Eleanor is like, thank you so much, Davy. You're being such a good friend because you let me watch Chicago and sing through it all. Yeah. What a friend.
I mean, a better friend than I am because like you get one song in any movie where you start singing, I'm like, hey, cut it out.
Really? Oh my God.
I mean, if we watching a movie, I don't need you bursting out of your rendition of Let It Go or whatever, you know. Like, hold on now. What are you doing? This is a solo. Okay, let them handle it.
If I'm with my friends, I think I would sing, but not with like strangers.
If everybody's singing, then it's okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like last night we were watching a movie and then we somehow ended up just listening to Titanic and Whitney Houston songs. And my mom and I are just like singing and my stepdad is like, what's going on? And it's like 12 at night. And my mom is like, we have to test out the surround sound.
Y'all are blasting My Heart Will Go On at 1 a.m.
Literally. And my mom is like, come on, let's sing. You could sing. So like, I'll only do it then. Like, I'll never do it in public though. Like, I'm not embarrassing myself like that.
10 more 5-star reviews and Sasha will post that video.
Hell no.
In the next
No. We need to do that. That sounds like a goal.
I'm not gonna say it. There is no way. I sound like a dying donkey. Like, there is no way I will ever Jason has videos of me rapping. Maybe we'll post those.
Oh, okay. If we get to 27 reviews, we will post one of Sasha's videos of her rapping. How about that?
It was my concert, aka my wedding.
I had a front row seat.
Yes. Look, any footage from your wedding, we're down with.
So
Sasha.
bad.
So
no, we want to see all the wedding footage.
I got so much, Chappell. I'll send it to you after.
Yes, this is what I'm talking about.
20 more 5-star reviews. Maybe I'll send you one video. Maybe.
Oh my God. Just do not share the table situation.
So what I was going to say, so something that stood out to me in this sleepover was when they were playing Pong and they had this new mixture of kombucha and apple cider vinegar. And I'm someone that loves beer pong. I also love kombucha. I've never thought about like merging the two together. What did y'all think about that? Like, would you drink that?
Well, I don't ever need to look cute while playing drinking games. Like, I am who I am. You're going to think I'm cute regardless. So, like, first of all, I would never drink. I would find a hot boy and be like, I don't drink. Can you drink for me? So that's the move, first of all, people. Like, you don't drink. You don't get sloppy. Let them get sloppy for you. So that's why I have never thought of it. And if I was ever setting up beer pong in my house, my mom, oh my God.
She's flipping the table over. Like, she's not going to ask you what's in the cups. She's just going to come in there and kick the table over.
No, she'll drown me in that cup. That's
in the kombucha.
Yeah. Are you kidding me? Can you imagine your mom comes home and then you're setting up the beer pong?
You're practicing hand-eye coordination.
Oh.
She gonna practice hand-eye coordination to my face.
To my face, or your reflexes are gonna get tested today. For me, this mixture, I would love to say I wouldn't drink it, but Sasha's right. Like, I have been the guy just standing by the table, and some girls like, I can't drink, and I'm like, okay, yeah, she's pretty. I'll do it. Whatever. I don't care. Like, I'm volunteering from across the room. Like, oh, Kamala wants me to drink it. I got you. I'm coming. Like, I'm gonna run across the room.
You're gonna drink her bathwater. We know.
With a bendy straw. Okay, so I think for them, of course. So for them, I think this was a choice. But the thing is that they want to practice drinking something nasty and looking cute at the same time, because they're like, okay, one day we're gonna have to drink liquor and it's not gonna taste great, but we still want boys to talk to us, and you can't be making like the bitter beer face. So you gotta, you gotta like man up in that moment, Davey. So she's trying to do that. She's trying to just okay. We focus on this now, so then when we're out in the streets, we don't make the mistakes. No rookie mistakes.
But that's my question for y'all. If someone made that face, is that like not attractive to you?
I won't say it's unattractive, but I'm going to talk about you. Like,
right, but it could be a talking point, right?
Oh, yeah, but I'm jumping right into it. Like, the moment I see her face, I'm like, ooh, grow up. You childish. Come here. Let's talk.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, to me, if I'm making a face, 9 out of 10 times, like, someone wants to talk to me about it. And then they'll be like, oh, what happened? Do you not drink a lot? Or, whatever. Like, girls, it's okay to make the face. Trust me.
They're young. They don't know.
Yeah, that's the problem.
And it works every time. If you make a face while you're drinking and someone sees it, the door is open to start a conversation. So I think they should be practicing their bitter beer faces to do at these big parties to get someone to talk to Davey other than just the coyote.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. She doesn't need to talk to any more animals.
Please, Davey, don't.
I guess I was just a thirsty college student, because it was one of those moments where you didn't have to make a face at all. If you take a shot with me, that is my opening to say, like, so hello, I'm Chappell. How are you? Because if you don't make the face, I'm like, dang, okay, savage. What? Okay, I see you. So you want to take more shots is what I'm hearing. Okay, that's what I'm hearing. So yeah, no. Either way, you taking the shots with me, that's the conversation starter right there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're playing beer pong with someone, that's like the most unfiltered or whatever, uninterrupted time I think you can get with anyone. So if you're playing beer pong with someone, like, if you don't end with getting their number, one of you is slacking, and one of you just like needs to like pick up a book on how to flirt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, and Fab was also making all those shots. Did you guys see that?
Oh yeah.
I don't know where Eleanor was throwing that ball, because she was just tossing it into the wind. I thought she was trying to hit Davey, because they're still upset with her.
Oh yeah, and we did forget to cover. Sorry, that Eleanor does. And then they started talking about Jonah, and they were like, we really like Jonah. He smells good. it's Mariah Carey's obsession. We already knew that. And then Eleanor finally shares about Chappelle's actual favorite character, her own mom. And she says, I saw my mom. She's actually right here in LA. And then Devi says, well, what happened? What did you say? And then, Jonah says, Chappelle, we have to keep toxic people out of our life.
And he was talking about Devi and not her mom, not Eleanor's mama. And that's bad. It's bad when Eleanor's mama get a better rap than Devi. That's what I'm like, Devi, you gotta pull it together, okay? Because this is not good. This is not good at all. And yes,
oh my God.
No, go ahead, Jason.
I was just gonna say, I was hoping Devi was gonna say something back to Jonah and be like, "You want to talk about who's toxic?" and kick him out of the conversation again.
Well,
That's
she definitely told them, like, I think it's pretty toxic that he's trying to draw a wedge between all of us, considering we've been friends forever. And I'm like, Davey, you threw this whole slumber party to drive a wedge between them and Jonah. So let's calm down just a tad.
Davey's toxic for sure.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, but I feel like I'm toxic too. So like, I understand what you mean, Davey. It's okay. It's okay to be a little toxic. And then, Davy's like, you need to talk to your mom. What are you going to do? And then Eleanor says, well, she's been sending me texts and calls, and that's it. So Joyce, aka, that's her name, right? I think it's Joyce.
Yep.
Yeah.
Joyce,
it's
Joyce
just
Wong.
like not a good parent, because that's all she's done. Like, she hasn't reached out. Like, she hasn't even tried to meet her. Like, what is wrong with this lady?
She's the worst. She is the worst. Like, I feel so vindicated by this episode because, like, when she comes back in like the previous episode, it's like, oh, she's back. Maybe, there's a good reason why, or something like that. Or, and people are like, well, I'm sure she was going to tell her. And I'm like, no, I hate her. And so now here, I'm like, yes. Look how horrible it is. Bury her in this edit because I just don't think you could get away with that. You're down the street from your kid and you didn't even say hi. I'm back in the country. She was on a cruise ship. Like, she was legit in international waters. You could at least tell your daughter that you're in the area, in the state. I don't know.
No, she doesn't care. That's the thing. Like, she's way more wrapped up in her own life, because then we get to Casa Mexico, and then, Davy really grew into her eyebrows, which is something my uncles have told me. They said that about my nose, but so again, I was like, yes, I feel that. I feel that. Shade, because my uncle legit told me that, oh, I thought you were like, you would be ugly, like you would be the ugly cousin, but like you look so good.
Wow,
that's horrible.
Yeah, but he's like that tough uncle that like you love because he says stuff like this. It's sick.
That's my future. Hopefully I won't tell many of my nieces and nephews that they thought that they were going to be the ugly one, but
they told
whatever.
me after I like grew into
Of course, they said it
and
after.
Yeah.
They said, "Wow, like Jesus, man, trying to grow into these eyebrows, and you try to take me out the game."
Yeah, they really tried to play me.
They were saying it, you just couldn't hear them.
Yeah, 100%. They were probably asking my mom.
Yeah,
they're probably like, "What happened?"
Oh my gosh.
When I was seeing all this, I agree with y'all. I think Joyce, Eleanor's mom, is the worst. We find out she was back for 2 months, and she didn't do anything. But she still had the nerve to have that conversation with Paxton's mom and think nothing would come of it. That was the biggest surprise to me. I really thought Joyce would say to Eleanor, when I saw Paxton and his mom, I wanted to reach out, but I was afraid you wouldn't answer my call, or some sort of appeal, like as a mom. But she's not there to be a mom. She's there to be a Broadway star. And we learn that as this episode goes on. It's really unfortunate.
Yeah. And this was a moment where Davy is trying to be a good friend by inserting herself into her friends' lives. And so, like, Eleanor did not ask Davy to go to Casa Mexico and just like, hey, Miss Wong, I know I haven't seen you in a few years, but could you come to school? What is the plan here? She says you need to meet her in person. And we see that she later shows up at their school in the middle of the day to just hang out.
Well, that wasn't even, that's the thing, right? Like, because Joyce Wong, like, says, oh, I'm going to rent out a black box theater and do a one-woman show dedicated to Eleanor. That would have probably been better than showing up to school, actually. The one maybe good idea this lady had. Because, yeah, she shows next, like, because the next scene is they're all at school, and then, they're all talking, and then we even get McEnroe saying, oh, Davy's proud to be a good friend because she butt into her friend's life behind her back. Like, what? Davy's just so desperate. Like, I need her to just, like, pause and like, where's Dr. Ryan? Because like, go to therapy instead of doing all this stuff.
I think she's embarrassed to tell Dr. Ryan about this plan because we've seen those interactions go on, and Dr. Ryan is telling her the truth and telling her how dumb her ideas are.
Yeah. Well, Dr. Ryan, but she told Dr. Ryan, I want to bone Paxton. So like, my God.
She has shame.
Who doesn't do that in LA, right? I mean, she showed her the picture. We all know what it looks like.
Dr. Ryan gets it. She sees it. Yeah. But you know, Devi was hiding from all her friends at school. I'd be shocked to believe that she was not too, hiding from Dr. Ryan. Like, she's like, I don't want to talk about this with anybody. I just want it to go away. Yeah. And so, she didn't go to therapy about this one, but she probably should have, because her tactics in fixing all of this, it's just horrible. She's going about this the complete wrong way. Because now Eleanor's mom is at their school, just like, hey, you want to hang out in the middle of the school day? And I love that Eleanor just gets up and runs away and literally runs like through the hallways. The most dramatic exit ever.
She's not very good at it. I want to say that's me.
She was running in slow motion on purpose, y'all. Like, she's Eleanor. This is the world is a stage for her. So she's like, oh my gosh, get away from me. And her mom's like, walking and catching up to her.
Exactly. And before that mom piece, also we get the Fabiola's mom part as well, where she's like, I do want to come out to my parents, but I'm scared because her mom actually has a vision board for her, which I wish my mom had this vision board, because she, her mom's vision board is, she would like Fabiola to get married to Michael B. Jordan in Tuscany, and like, what a mom. Like, wow. And Davy's like, yeah, who doesn't want that? And Fab is like, hello, me, because I'm gay.
So 5 seconds ago.
And then, we get the moment of, like, she doesn't want to let her parents down, unfortunately. And Davy's like, but I'm so good with parents. I'm spot on. And then cut to this awful ratchet conversation to Eleanor and her mom talking, where, Jason, what did you think about all of this?
I couldn't believe this. When Eleanor's mom walked into the school, I was so surprised, because where I come from, people just can't walk into the school without signing in, without getting a copy of their driver's license, without getting a badge with their license on their shirt. And they just let her walk freely in. I was really anticipating Mr. Shapiro, who I know both of y'all love, to enter this scene and talk to Eleanor's mom. Why are you here? Oh, are you the new PTA president? Or try to like appear really woke to impress Joyce. But maybe that is like left on the cutting room floor, and that'll be in like the secret scenes they release later on.
Look, give us all the extra stuff. And
Mr.
then
Shapiro's useless. He's useless. He wouldn't have helped.
This man caught them drinking and didn't do anything. So like,
did nothing. What's he gonna say to Eleanor? Mom was like, "Oh my gosh, thank you. It's so nice to have another Asian lady in that." Like, him. It's like, oh,
yeah, he would say something like that, 100%. He'd be like, oh, we're learning about Japanese internment camp. And then Eleanor would be like, but we are, whatever they are. So I don't know. What is the long last name? I don't know. But anyway, I'm not going to be racist and wonder what it is. So then, and then, we do get the moment of Eleanor saying like, dad and the stepmom just like don't get me. Like they try to take me to Spam-A-Lot. Gasp. And then, Eleanor's mom says, I'm fine. I'm here for you. I'm going to do the bake sale. Let's bake, but not at my house because I live with 19-year-olds.
Yeah. She's been back for 2 months. I guess she got an apartment like with some college students, and her goal here is to find a job. So then she can go to Eleanor and be like, look, I didn't get fired from the cruise ship. I took another job opportunity here, and now I'm the lead actress in something. And so Eleanor won't be disappointed in her. But there's nothing more disappointing in my mind than telling them that you live with 3 19-year-olds and you haven't told me that you were in town. Like, hello.
And it's like, it can't be that expensive. Like, I made it on a nonprofit salary in San Francisco. So like, anyone, like, please figure it out. And I did live with 8 people, but we all had our own rooms. Like, none of us like shared anything besides the bathroom. We didn't share anything else. So it's possible, but like, and the closet is the oven. Like, bless your heart. Like, it's a hot mess. So Davy says, I got you. Use my kitchen. And this is where Devi just, again, unknowingly, sets the train down the wrong track, because we're in Devi's kitchen now, y'all. First of all, who's like gossiping with the mom? Like, have
That's
y'all
the problem. That's the problem. Parents love this. Parents love being the cool parent when they want to be. 100%. Right? When they want to be. When they want to be, they're like, hey, what's going on? Tell me everything. Da, 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 da. But they will always, 100% of the time, use that against you when you are a child. When you're grown, you might be able to set those boundaries. But when you're a child, they don't think your stuff matters that much. Exactly. They don't think it's that important. Exactly. So they like talk to their friends about it. They'll talk to other kids about it if they want to. My mom has put me on blast in front of plenty of people. But she's like, oh, like I think we were at a football game or something one time, and it was this girl. I'm good friends with her still to this day, by the grace of God, because my mom goes, oh yeah, you're on Chappelle's shit list right now, aren't you? And I was like, no, we're fine. I told you that in confidence. We're good. We're good. Stop it. I joking. They're all on my shit list. Mom, you're off my shit list. Like I was trying to cover it up. And then later on I pull us aside like, hey, I can't tell you nothing if you're gonna keep acting like this. So what's up? Well, are we gonna be friends or are we gonna be friends? Because which one is it? So don't ever fall for this. Kids, if you're listening to this, don't listen. First of all, you shouldn't be listening to this. But if you're a child, if you're a child, don't do that. Plus. Yeah, 17 and up. That's it.
When I was watching this, I thought something crazy was going to happen about what they were telling Joyce. It reminded me of that scene in like Mean Girls when the mom is trying to get them to like spill all the tea, talk shit about everyone. And I have a similar story to you, Chappelle. When I was actually in college, one of my best friends from high school was dating this woman. She was older than us. I hung out with them, didn't really like her. My mom knew this person growing up, knew his parents, and asked me what I thought. And I'm like, well, I don't really like her. Like, I hope they break up. I wasn't living in Dallas when this happened. I was visiting my family. A few months later, they break up. My mom's telling me the story, how she ran into my friend. And when he told my mom they broke up, my mom's like, oh yeah, Jason never liked her anyways. I'm sure he's glad that you broke up. And my mom told me this. Thank you. And I was like, Mom, you can never do this again. Like, I told you to do that because you asked me. I didn't tell him that because he would not have liked me telling him that in the moment or after the fact. And she totally blew up my spot.
Mm-hmm.
And it took a while to recover that and get over it.
This is where I'm grateful that we speak a different language. Because, my mom has been like, I know. So there was this boy I was entangled with, and he showed, and he was like at my graduation party that my mom threw for me. So, like, again, we couldn't be together for many reasons. Like, we weren't, like, it wasn't happening. So we're at, the graduation party because, I just got my master's. I'm living my best life. And then she looks at him. She's like, I know who you are. Why?
Why did you do that?
And I literally had to be like, you cannot say this. And then my dad is like, who is he? Who is he? And I was like,
nope, shut it down.
Goodbye.
Shut it down.
And I literally had to, like, because this person, like, if I said it in Hindi, this person would have understood it. So I had to thankfully speak another language, and which is like close to Hindi, but enough to where, like, if I used enough big words, you wouldn't understand what I'm saying. So I was just like, stop. Like, he does not need to know his position and that I'm even thinking about him, let alone talking about him to my mom.
Right. They don't get it.
That's happened to me a few times. My mom actually, maybe this, I'll have to blur their faces out. But, like, I will say that at my graduation, at my high school graduation, my mom made like a really beautiful scrapbook, and I'm just at my high school, not high school, my college graduation, my bachelor's, she's like, I made this really beautiful scrapbook for you, like, of like your culmination of your like high school, baby, and college life. So it's like all my sorority pictures. I'm flipping through, and then there's 2 pages of just pictures of boyfriends, like ex-boyfriends. And I was like, but why did you do this? And she was like, because it's funny. Don't you want these memories? And I'm like, by the way, the boy I was dating at the time was there. And I was like, he don't need to see this. Like, what are you doing? So I had to like close it and be like, it's so funny. My mom's silly. Haha.
She did that just to see your reaction looking at those pages in real time.
Yeah. And I still have it. Like, she was like, aren't you going to take it to San Francisco with you? And I was like, why? Why would I take this with me?
What is that going to do? What is that going to prove? I'll leave that there. Okay.
Yeah, sit there and be like toxic 1, toxic 2, toxic 3. What? No. Oh, so this is where I was like, I'm gonna block you on Facebook because like you don't need to be having access to these pictures anymore.
Yeah, I shut my mom's Facebook down, okay? Listen, when she told me she was making a Facebook, I was like, oh, I'll do it. I'll make it for you because you know, obviously you're going to be asking me a million questions. So I was able to go in and make sure my privacy settings were right along lines with whatever she could see from my page. And I was like toggling between both pages, like, let me see what she, okay, Smart. Cool. She can't see this. So I got it set up. So, I mean, she can go do whatever she wants.
You can do it for yourself. By the way, you can do view profile.
So oh, no, this was back in the day. But yeah,
I got you.
Yeah, this was back in the early stages.
Your mom on Facebook. I feel like
yeah, you could do that, and I'll be friends with your mom on Facebook.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, my mom's friends with everyone.
Sasha, are we even friends on Facebook? We're we friends with each other's moms.
Oh, yeah.
Sasha, my mom wanted to friend you on Facebook a couple months ago to send you a message, but she's like, if I friend Sasha on Facebook, she'll know something's up. And it was when my parents came in town to surprise me for my birthday, and we were supposed to record a podcast that night. And so my mom wanted to tell Sasha, like, Jason can't record the podcast. We're coming in to surprise him.
Oh my God, that's so cute.
Because she thought about it, because she knew it's like, well, that's all I'm doing. You know, I had no other plans. It was the pandemic. Like,
hello, COVID is still real, people.
Yeah.
And then, but anyway, they are starting to chat. They are, you know, they're word vomiting over here because Eleanor is like, I'm in the school play, and Mom is like, wow, we're like the Barrymores or the Fannings. And I was like, really? Those are the people you want to talk about? Like, there's other movie families. And then this is where I feel like this is what I do to Chappelle after we finish rapping, because she's like, are we dating anyone? Are we singling? And I was just like, oh, this is how I sound to Chappelle. I'm never gonna do it again.
Yes, Sasha will make a point of being like, when we cut, she's like, okay, now who is it today? What is going on? She's like, because listen, I'm married and I need to live through you. I need to know. I need to get you wifed up, Chappelle. I'm like, Sasha, I'm just out here having a good time.
No,
okay?
We're not wifing you up now, because then I'm cutting myself off of the drug, which is like, that's stupid. Like,
it's just it's like it's the process that you want to you're interested in.
Exactly.
I get wifed up, then I'm boring, and you have to talk to somebody else about it.
Well, because Jason knew I was that friend with the crazy stories.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, what can we do?
When this conversation was happening, I felt really old when Joyce was like, so, you singies? And I'd never heard anyone use that phrase before. So I'm like, wow, I must be really out of it. But I sometimes was that teen word vomiting to the parents when they would want to be cool or give us stuff or like bring things in. I more than once, I was like spilling the beans about my friends without realizing it. Because it was such a fun experience. And I'm like, oh, my parents are cooler than yours. And then, you know, be beef after the fact.
Yeah. No, I'm a vault. I am a vault. You tell me something, you have to worry about it going nowhere. I'm definitely not gonna tell your parents. Are you kidding me? Because I'm always trying to stay out of trouble. So I'm never gonna try to throw nobody else under the bus. I think I've slipped up like twice in my entire life, and both times I was kicking myself for months. Like, I can't believe I said that shit. You know, so this is so transparent too. Like, she's like, tell me about your dating lives. Like, this is Eleanor's mom. Eleanor would do the same exact thing that Joyce is about to do. So Eleanor should be able to look up and say, like, you know, we probably don't need to do this. Also, she trusts her mom a lot for her to just really just be getting back into like this speaking terms with her. Just based off the fact that you didn't tell me you were here, you wouldn't be getting any information out of me. There's like a probationary period for like months.
Absolutely not. But, you know, unfortunately, Eleanor is like just starved for, I think, that like someone that gets her. And, you know, so Eleanor does share that she's dating, you know, a techie, not an actor, which I was like, I'm married to a techie, but not the same type of techie, I realized. And then she says, so who's cute? Sexton? Six pack?
Yeah. What's that name? The guy who came by the restaurant? Sexton. This is a grown ass woman. You calling her a child Sexton? We really got to get Paxton out of this neighborhood because he's not safe.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like Paxton like needs to be saved because all these cougars are just like coming onto him, and he doesn't care. I feel like he's into it.
Maybe he doesn't notice.
Knows his mom. They had this conversation at the restaurant. She knows what his name is. He was there for that whole conversation. You think Paxton's mom was talking about her son Six Pack? Like they're not WWE wrestlers,
right?
No.
Like. This is weird. this is weird. Like her, it makes it seem like she showed her a picture of her and she was like, damn, like she pulled a Dr. Ryan.
Yeah.
Well, no, because she's seen Paxton, right, at Casa Mexico. That's the only person she knows. And then
was he shirtless? She's like, with the six pack, ma'am. Could you stop?
Listen,
his eyes are up here.
But
his eyes are up there. Like he's sitting at a table. You do not need to. That's a grown ass woman. She don't need to be looking at that boy's six pack through the table.
He looked 30 and he is 30. So like it's 30. Fine.
And we've seen he can take his shirt off in 1 second. So he could get his shirt back on in 1 second before anyone else noticed.
One arm.
Listen, she probably was like, oops, I dropped salsa on your shirt. And then he's like, it's fine.
It's fine. I keep an extra one in my car. No, this is gross. She needs to stop.
Oh, right. No, it is gross. I'm just kidding. And then Eleanor's like, Davey knows all about him. They used to be lovers. First of all, if any one of my friends ever in life said these words, it's a throat chop to them. Because what are you doing?
They use this phrase so much throughout the show. The two of them, yes. Eleanor and Fabiola, and they're like, "Did you tell anybody that y'all were making love?" Wait, ew. Y'all that's like making love. What do y'all don't know? Hell, y'all don't know nothing. Y'all need to be quiet. Don't say that no more. It's
Go
gross.
back to Wiki and understand why if you're saying those words, why, like Dr. Ryan said, you probably shouldn't be having sex.
Look, go back to saying railing and what was the other one? Boning. Yeah, that's better than making love. That was gross.
We know. Never mind. Let me move on. And then,
okay. All right, Sasha. You don't get caught up.
Nope. I don't know who's behind that door. And then Eleanor's mom is like, wow, you're punching above your weight here. But like I personally have been in those situations where, no, actually only one time, where I punched above my weight. And like to this day, do I talk about him? Yes, because like I punched above my weight. I told them before the podcast started. But Nathan Lane apparently is who she was punching above her weight. And she's like, well, who's your girlfriend, Fabiola? And Fabiola's like, what the hell?
Yeah. Eleanor, did you tell your mom that you just met again already that this is going on? Because I just don't understand why. Why do you know this? And it's just one of those moments where she thought Eleanor did the thing that she wasn't supposed to do.
And Eleanor's like, absolutely the hell I did not. And then she's like, no, I have really good gaydar because I dated Nathan Lane. And I was like, lady, like enough. And then they do say, make sure you keep this between us, which is like obviously a foreshadowing. Because then we get to the bake sale where Fabiola's mom is being very type A, yelling about almonds, which Jason, I feel like this is like the mom you would love, right?
Well, as someone who has food allergies, I very much appreciated her being like, I said no tree nuts. There's tree nuts in this. Get out of here. Because I'm that way when someone tries to give me a treat that has gluten in it, since I'm gluten-free. I'm like, I'm gluten-free. Are you trying to tempt me? And I just like shove it out of my face, usually really dramatic. If it's someone I know. If it's a complete stranger, I just kindly say, no, thank you. No, thank you. I'm not hungry, even when I'm starving. But I like try to play it cool, especially when like little kids, like my friends' kids try to share their snacks with me. They don't know what gluten-free is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, it's all for you. I know sharing is caring, but you have another bite.
Yeah. No, I don't have an issue with Fab's mom being so aggressive here because she's not wrong. Like tree nut allergies are real. And so you bring that in here, the wrong kid gets it. We're getting sued. Like you have to be very clear. Like, okay, this has peanuts in it or something like that, because you could have a death on your hands. And I'm somebody else who has a lot of allergies. We've talked about this before, but I'm allergic to shellfish, and I just hate when people talk about it because I love it. I love the taste of shrimp. I love crab, lobster, all that stuff, and I miss it dearly. So don't bring that around me or I'm going to get angry. So I saw this and I was like, yes, Fabiola's mom, do the things.
This is why we're besties. See, I just because of my religion, can't eat, any of that, Chappelle. So we can go out to eat all the time.
That works.
But it was literally, so I will say my mom had to Google everything when she was cooking for Jason because she sent him some biryani and she was like, what's gluten-free? I don't know what that means.
Is biryani kosher?
Yeah, I mean, you can make it. You just don't have to use yogurt, right? And the meat is kosher. So my mom made it.
This was the best Indian food I've ever had in my life. Still to this day, I compare every chicken biryani I have to that one dish, and it always falls short.
Oh my God, my mom would love that.
I'm so jealous. Every time we talk on this podcast, Sasha, the next day I'm like, okay, don't go get Indian food. You don't have any money right now. Just wait.
Listen, I got you. If we do end up meeting up in Dallas.
Yeah.
Well, I'm about to say, you're going to make me drive to Oklahoma. Like, I'm gonna really meet your mom. Like, hey, I'm coming for lunch.
My mom would love it. She'd be like, oh my God, another podcaster. Tell me more.
Yeah, you'll fit right in with her.
Yeah, my mom was clowning me before this podcast because I asked her to turn on Big Brother, y'all, and she was like, I need to watch my show. Maybe I have to podcast about it.
All right. If your mom starts a podcast, I'm gonna listen.
She really likes to drag me. And then, Nalini is getting mom shamed by her own child because she's like, store-bought? What is wrong with you, David? Did you even help? Because you helped somebody else's mom bake, but did you help your own mom?
No, she didn't. And she didn't even tell her mom this happened. Yeah. Melanie has no clue that Eleanor's mom is back in the state or even in the house, in the kitchen. Like, oh, that's sacred ground at some people's house. You don't just let anybody in the kitchen. So you're supposed to talk about this from jump. And now instead, you're just using all your energy to shame your mom, who's a doctor, who is very busy, who does not have time all the time to bake for bake sales. So she bought some snacks. Dang, Davey, give her a break.
Yeah, she's been out saving lives all day. Is Mrs. Fields doing that?
Right. Mrs. Fields could never, y'all. And then, Eleanor is like, I'm so happy to see my mom. And then you see Elise, who is Fabiola's mom, and Nalini are like side-eyeing the mess out of Joyce. Because they're like, what the hell is this lady showing up here? Because turns out our girl Joyce, very much on brand, left these 3 precious little children at a carnival.
Yes, when they were like 5 years old, she just mid face paint got a call about an audition for NCIS and took off and just left them sitting there all day. And she never came back.
Oh my God. I had to pause to take the notes and I paused on their 3 little faces and I was like, this is so sad. Oh my God.
Yeah, it broke my heart to see that and that she would not apologize for it. It looks like that was when she left them for good. And it's never happened to me. A similar situation happened to one of my cousins when she was 10 or 11. Her dad might have lost her at Six Flags, couldn't find her for about 30 minutes. So when they got home from Six Flags, the very next morning she got a cell phone. So they could call her immediately at 10 years old.
Oh my gosh.
But it was like still something my family talks about now 8 years later because she's starting her freshman year of college.
Yeah, someone lost me like in India, like I was in our like apartment complex, I was the first like kid to be born. So everyone like it was like communal property where they'd like sign me out basically. So they like came in and then take me to like the clubhouse or whatever, and someone lost me in the clubhouse. And then they came, and I was like little, like I couldn't talk. So then they show up and they're like asking my mom, "Oh, did anyone bring Sasha back?" And my mom is like, "What happened? Like, why?" And my mom is like very like on me. So my mom was like, "What's going on? What's going on?" No, we like, maybe we'll go back. We'll find Sasha. So yeah, I was lost but turned out I was just under the pool table the whole time. So hanging out. But yeah. So like it's real. My mom is like, to this day, she talks about that story and she's like, why would anyone leave kids unattended? My mom gets very stressed about this stuff. But anyway, so they're like, why are you back, Joyce? And then this is where Eleanor should have known better than to trust this lady. Because he's, Jose loyal man. Because Joyce says, I've come back to LA because Hollywood is here. And that's, where most of the jobs are. Oh my God. Jason, what would have been your reaction? Because again, I would have cussed her out, I think.
My jaw would have dropped and broken on the floor in full Eleanor drama way. And I just would have turned around and walked away and gotten out of the situation, making a big scene for Joyce to chase after her. I probably wouldn't have talked to my mom for like 3 days, but I would have pulled on the extra drama so everyone could see how bad of a mother she was being in that moment at the school in front of everyone. Like at least say that one-on-one and break it.
Right. And I'm confused, like why none of these other moms maybe, need to like bring Eleanor in a little bit more to be like, we love you. And then Nalini says, and your daughter, right? So, then Joyce goes, yeah, my daughter, I missed her. I missed the girls. Their lives are so great. And I love them and their love lives. You knew. Yeah. I could see the train wreck, Chappell.
She says they got boyfriends, they got girlfriends. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? That at no world is this okay. Like in no world, you don't just assume that people are already like kids are out in front of their parents. You just don't do that.
Exactly. Oh my
this is the worst.
God.
She sucks. First time seeing these parents in 10 years, knowing that your last interaction with them was leaving their kids in a carnival. You just want to like pretend it's all good and just gossip about the girls.
Yeah, in front of the girls.
In front of the girls. Like, oh my God, no, chill.
You just said it. She just said, like, oh, what happens in the gab stays in the gab says. Oh, you're a liar. You're a liar. Like, she's just bragging. Like, oh, we talked to them. Yeah, they let me in on all their secrets. I'm such a cool mom. Like, no. Because Nalini is not having it. That
Nalini
eyebrow
said, who got a boyfriend?
Right.
Says who? Got the rock eyebrow.
Yeah. Who got a girlfriend, first of all?
Yeah, Elise was like, who got a girlfriend? Because she knew. She was like, I think it's the robotics one. I think she got a girlfriend.
Yeah. And I mean, that's naturally the first question for any parent in this situation is like, wait, it's three young ladies that they think, to this point, they're like, oh, they're heterosexual ladies. So, I mean, young girls. So they're like, okay, well, somebody has a secret that they need to talk about. Somebody hasn't been upfront with us. Yeah. So they obviously are going to ask that question first. Fab kind of like just waves it off like, oh, nobody, she's just crazy.
No one has a girlfriend.
But Nalini is not going to let that go for the boyfriend question because she's like, if it's Devi, we about to have a conversation because she's grounded until she can rent a car.
And she's forbidden.
Is it Frank with the receding hairline, the crossing guard?
Wait, what is that
about? Why did she say that?
Of all people.
Kamala is over here getting cream of the crop, everyone. And then Devi gets a man with a receding hairline? Is that how poor you think of your child?
Yeah, wasn't even the janitor who we've heard referenced earlier in this season as someone that's friends with them or maybe a teacher, but it's the crossing guard.
Yeah, right. That would have been a good joke.
Yeah, but also a grown-ass man. Like, hello, there's all these kids. And she looks like more offended that it is the crossing guard. But when she finds out it's Paxton, she almost looks surprised, like, Davey, whoa,
Mr. Cheekbones?
Mr. Cheekbones, the one who I caught in your hospital bed? Ma'am, that is not what happened. Stop it.
She said in her bed.
In your bed? Like, that is not what happened.
And then Joyce, singing like a damn canary, goes, oh, so you knew that they were having sex? I'm confused.
Nalini's head about spun around like 3 times. This is not acting. That was real emotion. She was ready to slap Davey upside the head.
And Joyce.
God.
Yeah, everyone was getting slapped. Everybody, she had
I was like,
everybody.
All of them. Yeah. Oh my God. So I was watching this with my mom, like as in she was around me when I was taking notes for this. And I could feel my mom getting pissed. And I was like, I'm grown. I'm married. Like, it's okay, bro. I cannot imagine if something like this happened to me. I think I would leave my house and never come home. Like, I don't know where I would go, but there's no way. There's no way I could face my mom.
No. And then especially because you're lying too. That's the worst part about it too. Like, It's like, okay, Nalini is making a scene. They're at a bake sale in a school. They're in the middle of a classroom. There are other people around and she's lost it. My mom has done that plenty of times where I've been like, could you please stop? Stop it until we get home. You're a grown woman. Love yourself. But Nalini's not. She's past it. She's done. She's like, oh, no, we're going to talk about this right now. Who having sex and why? And Davey's like, no, we're not. I'm not having sex. No, it was a lie. I promise. But her friends, the ride or dies that they are, like, yeah, no, exactly. She's not having sex. She's pure as the driven snow.
Driven snow. Not new snow. Driven snow.
Sasha, that's the phrase. That's the phrase. I've been saying that my whole life. Oh yeah, because I'm like,
a lie. That is not true.
That's the phrase. I've been saying that my entire life. When I was in high school, I would be like, Because obviously I was a troublemaker. So people would be like, oh, look at Chappelle. He's here. I'm like, I'm as pure as the driven snow. How dare you? I've been saying that forever.
Yes, I looked this up. This is real. What the hell?
I had never heard
Sasha,
that before.
The bruz is wholesome, and I've been saying that for a while.
Of all the things that they are.
pure as the driven snow, Sasha. This is our thing. Put it on a t-shirt.
In this conversation, this was the other part of the episode when I thought we were going to see an appearance of Mr. Shapiro. And he was going to jump right in and be like, if they are having sex, it is safe. We have sex education at this school.
Yes.
You have nothing to worry about, parents. I have this under control.
That he would have gotten slapped. Because, my God, I cannot imagine if a teacher tried to tell my mom about something I was.
Oh, yeah.
First of all, no teacher could complain to my mom about me either. Like, that wasn't happening. And then, like, only she could complain about me. But, like, if it was about sex, I think my mom would be in tears and then be like, you didn't tell me? And then you're doing this? Is this why I brought you to this country? So that you could be doing this stuff? That's what my mom used to say to me. Like, is that why we moved to America? And I would be like, oh, my God. Please.
That's the ultimate guilt. Like the ultimate guilt is like, I shouldn't have brought you to a new life. You know, like I should have just left you over there since you're not grateful. You're doing things like this. That's so messed up.
Yeah. It was bad.
This is a tough moment. This is bad. Everything about this is so bad because Devi's trying to come clean, but her friends are trying to cover up for her. But so she has to come clean to her mom just so she doesn't die. Then she has to come clean to her friends who have been thinking so much of her lately. And so Melanie's like, look, I don't know what's true or what's not, but you coming home. We
out here. And Devi said, I'm a big virgin fraud. Can you imagine having to say that in school?
With all these people there.
Everybody. Like, you're already Coyote Girl. Now you're the big virgin fraud Coyote Girl. Like,
that's why you are the Coyote Girl, let's be honest.
Right.
And then I'm pretty sure right after this, it was Joyce saying, so where should I put my cookies?
She has no
the whole
shame.
Conversation didn't happen.
Like, does she have, like, is she on the spectrum? Like, what's going on? Because she has zero social cues. Like, she's useless.
She's just a narcissist.
Not that people on the spectrum are much better. Yeah. So I apologize, everyone. Yeah. She's actually has, like, a disorder and she's a sicko. And she needs to just be kicked out. Go back to freaking Casa Mexico and no one ever wants to see you again.
Just get back on the cruise ship.
Yeah, like float out to Jamaica.
They fired her and you wonder why. She probably being a jerk on the cruise ship.
No, she was probably being like, this person cheating on this person with that person.
Or all everybody on minors.
Yeah, that too. She called a kid sexting. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
But we do see Melanie, and Devi going home, and Melanie. This is my favorite line where she's just like, "You're not allowed to have any sexual contact with boys, even in your lies, because there's too much going on. I don't know what's true, what's not, but if you start lying about having sex, I swear, it's over.
Yeah.
Nothing. Yeah. There's nothing here forever. The best grounding ever.
Yeah.
She shut it down."
This is where I will say my mom was a little bit, now she told me she was fake, but like that she was better about it, where she was like, if you're doing anything, I need to know so I can keep you safe. Like, you need to tell me everything, but like, don't actually do anything. But like, if you are, like, you need to tell me. So my mom is definitely chiller because she was like, no one like gave me the talk. So like, I was out here being an idiot, like, as in like, innocent, like naive, not innocent. So she was like, my child is never gonna be innocent. Like, I had to read a book about sex education in India when I got my period. Like, immediately she was like, here you go, here's a whole book on changing bodies. So that's where it's interesting, because I like knew about stuff, but I still like, it wasn't a thing that I could participate in, or like, definitely not people outing me in front of my mom. Like, absolutely not.
Mm-mm.
I had to like coach my friends and be like, this is the conversations we can have at home. This is the ones you can't, like, be careful. But now my mom is way chiller, but like, cause I'm 30 and married, but oh my God. And then Devi, gets an F in friendship, of course, because Devi's just like a little sad baby. And then we're back at the bake sale, which I feel like this is now a big moment because, Elise is like, I feel bad for Eleanor. Her mom is such a flake. Like, at least we're a regular family, which is like, has any mom ever said that?
I think she's just more like,
Yeah.
we can never be like them. You know, like, okay, look, if nothing, in our worst days, I won't desert you and go, and then like tell all your business in public. And you can tell Elisa's being honest. She's like, that's not my style. I can't. But so she's like, we're normal. And I think Fabiola takes that moment to be like, well, I mean, since we're talking about these hard things and like, something that she considers abnormal would be if I told her the secret about me. So she's like, I guess now's the best time to go ahead and do it. And so she tells her mom that like, hey, she's gay. And her mom's face is kind of the moment where, you're wondering what's about to happen. Is she going to like accept this? Is she like Fabiola's on pins and needles, just waiting, just kind of like, oh gosh, what's going to happen? But I think she handles this the best way possible. Mm-hmm. I mean, she tells her, I need time to process, but also I love you. And, I support you. And so, Elise gets a gold star and Eleanor's mom can go away forever.
Yeah, one of the things I thought Elise meant when she said, at least we're normal, was that I will never embarrass you in public like this in such a way. I will do it inside our walls, inside my walls, in our house, so much worse. And I think that's where she was coming from as a mom. True. The public embarrassment that she felt empathy for Eleanor, seeing her mom who just showed up after a decade away, now all of a sudden spilling her business, all of her friends' business, and making a big scene. And that's just like crazy. Yeah. And I think Elise did a great job handling it as a mom with Fab coming out to her, I'm someone in the LGBTQ community. And like when I told my parents, I didn't have a meeting, like say I'm switching classes like Fab did. The Latin thing, I told, my family individually when I saw them, they hugged me, they loved me. And my mom said, well, I still want grandkids. And I thought it was like a really fun, loving, wholesome response. And so I was happy that Fab was able to have this interaction with her mom. And her mom did say, so we can still go to Marseille. We can still go on this vacation, right? Because that's what's important, is to say that like we as a family love each other and want to have experiences together. You can do whatever you want, but we're not going to treat you any differently. Right. I'm really glad a show like this is showing that story for Fab of someone who was struggling with this, and especially with her family background and who she is, being able to represent. And, representation does matter. And I think there's a lot of different people represented on this show, and they did a great job creating it.
Agreed.
Yeah. And like, I like that it was, again, so chill, right? Like it actually isn't the family meeting. It's like at a bake sale. And I think that's what I love about this show where, I am straight, but like seeing, queer people represented, like this is what should happen, where it doesn't need to be this like monumental moment. And I hope like for my children, like it isn't like I hope they don't feel like, it needs to be this whole moment where like if they are queer, that they have to like come out in the same way, because they're going to be coming out for the rest of their life, like to every single person. So I hope like, at my house, I tell my husband this all the time, like we have to use gender neutral language, like all the time, like get used to it. And he was like, we know you hate gender. And I was like, I do. Gender's stupid. But like, it's also, it is. And I like, it's so nice to see like it not be so like dramatized like in this way. And like, just, just being like, like there are supportive families out there too. And it's nice to like see that, because I think a lot of people don't have that, but sometimes you just want to see something fun, and like you don't want that like adverse reaction, like that's like not the only story. So I'm appreciative that they show it in this way.
And another reason to use more gender neutral language is just an excuse that we can all say y'all, because it applies to everyone. And I've been trying to get this trending for like 10 years in my professional career. Just like say y'all. It doesn't matter if you're from Texas. It's inclusive.
Oh my God, I was in board
from Texas, and so we can have it.
Exactly.
That's why we're all on the same page.
Yeah, we're like, oh, let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah. I've been in board meetings saying y'all, and then people, like people have tried to be like, oh, it's not this, it's not that. And I was like, actually, it's gender neutral, and I don't need to use a lot of words. Thank you very much. So I will drag people to hell on this. Like that's a hill I am willing to die on. And then we get to, this like moment of honesty with the friends where they're like, well, why didn't you tell us the truth? And Devi, the future lawyer, goes, well, it looks like it was going to be happening. So I was just telling you a future truth.
Yes, I love this.
I can't wait to use this.
Yeah.
I literally cannot wait.
I want to hear from Mindy Kaling, who created this show, how she used that line in her real life, because I know that is a firsthand experience, and I also can't wait to use that.
Yeah. If we ever, Jason, if you go on Survivor, if, we end up on Big Brother, Chappelle, I think that's what, if I ever get caught, I'm going to be like, it's a future truth. Like,
right.
What do you mean?
I said I wasn't going to nominate you. Just this week I am, like
Yeah.
next week, I need you to be a
won't.
pawn right now, but next week, hopefully you'll be gone, but whatever.
You won't be nominated for that long.
Right. Exactly.
Exactly.
Like, it's kind of true. I had a friend in college. She would I was going to her house and I was waiting on her. So I was just like, I think we lived like next door to each other. And so I was like, I could see that her house, like she wasn't home. So I text her like, where are you? And she's like, I'm at home. I was like, okay, well, no, you're not. And she's like, okay, I'm pulling it to the driveway. I was like, I'm standing in your driveway. So I text her back, no, you're not. And she's like, no, I'm legit coming around the corner. I was like, no, you're not. He's like, okay, I just left campus. I was like, okay, fine, but why did you lie? So now she's gonna be like, oh, it was a future truth.
That's exactly what she should have said. What do you mean? I was gonna be home eventually.
And that reminds me when people say, I'm on the way, or I'm leaving in 5 minutes.
That's me.
And then 20 minutes later, they text you.
I am never on the way. I am never on the way. If I say I'm on the way, it's a future truth. Yeah. But I call her on that all the time because she told me be there at like 2. And I'm like, where are you? I'm at home. No. That's a lie. It's like, well, I'm pulling in the driveway. It's like, why are we doing this? Do we have to go through each step? I think I got her to like lie about like which red light she was at before she finally was like, fine, I'm leaving campus. She's like, I'm at the corner. I finally just said, listen, I'm standing in the middle of the street. I can see to the end of the street. You're not here. She's like, fine, I'm leaving campus. Like, I'll be back in 20 minutes. Thanks.
Oh my God. I do that all the time to people too. And then I'll be like, but when I wait, I hate it. But then when I'm making you wait, apparently I don't care. Mean.
I show up everywhere on time. And so
yeah,
I purposely now try to show up like 5 or 10 minutes late because I'm like, I know they're running late. I just leave early and I'll just like sit in my car in the parking lot, be like, all right, it's 5 after. I can go inside now. Or, like,
I wish that was
them
me
to walk in.
Oh my God. I'm always, I'll never walk. If I'm early, I will never be walking in. I'd be like, text me when you're there so I can walk in. Like, I'm sick. Like, again, I don't master date, right? Like, it's not a thing.
Oh my gosh. By yourself.
No, I would never. I get very embarrassed. So I like can't. It like really embarrasses me. But like having a job where I literally had to meet people for coffee, I think I got better at it because I was like, this is my job. Like I'm meeting a college student. Like who cares? I'm grown. Like if they stand me up, like, I can still finish my hot chocolate and I'll be fine. And I'm gonna do work. So I got better at it, but I still can't eat lunch alone. There's no way. And then Devi says, I understand why you want to replace me. And then the girls are like, we can have more than one friend, bro. Like what the hell? This is me though. I was that.
Yeah. You're like, I see you getting other friends and I don't like it. Like, what's happening here? Jonah, I love Jonah in this moment because he's like, first of all, don't tie me down to this because this friendship, yeah, that's me. That is 100% me. Like this friendship obviously demands a lot. And if you're going to be going through all of this, I don't know if I can commit to this full time. I am the most non-committal to everything.
Exactly. And I'm very much like maybe because I'm an only child, I'm a Cancer. Like it's sick. There's a lot of feelings. We get it. But like I get very irritated if my friends like have other friends or if like they call someone their best friend. Like I'm like, no, and not possible.
I feel the same way. I'm a Taurus and I act that way with my friends. And I'm like, if you don't want to think I'm one of your close friends anymore, I'll just stop responding to your texts.
Oh my gosh.
If you don't think I'm your friend anymore and you want to do all this stuff without inviting me, I just won't respond. And then, and then to make them do more work, you have to call me. You can't just send me a group text if you say we're best friends and expect me to show up after like not inviting me to other stuff. I'm a little petty when it comes to that.
But I guess I'm a friend slut. You just call me and I'm like, yep, what's up? And then they're like, oh, we're best friends. I'm like, ooh, commitment. Sorry. Like,
oh my God. I'm just like, how dare you? You're my best friend. And now you can have other best friends, even though we live across the country and like you're totally fine to have other no, impossible. Like all my friends in Dallas, I be dragging. And I was like, oh, I guess like we're not guys. And I was sick. Like my poor friends, they don't need that from me. And like one of them literally showed up to like surprise me. Like, it's like, they're my best friends. Like, I need to get over it.
Yeah, her flight didn't get canceled to go surprise you for your birthday.
Sorry, Jason.
my flights got canceled 2 nights in a row.
I got sent
home
I know, to come
airport,
surprise me for my 30th. What a mess. Ugh. Whatever.
See, I'm glad I'm not like y'all. I'm glad I'm not like y'all, because what happens is Sasha goes, I'm here with my BFF Jason, and I'm like, what? BFF? What are we then?
You call everyone else your best friend. Don't think I don't hear you.
I'm for everybody.
Yeah,
I'm
you
out here getting
literally
passed around. It's a hot boy summer for me. Just I got a lot of best friends.
No, it's a hot pot. A pod summer for you is what it is.
Summer.
Okay.
Yes.
Hot year.
Yeah.
Life,
Yes. Class
eternity.
of 2020. All right. Shout out, Rob. And then but yeah, so we're, and then this is the worst moment, I think, of the show, because Joyce Wong shows up to the play. She's a full-time actress. Eleanor is, showing her off. This is so exciting. Can she stay? And then the play director is like, yeah, I love when parents show up who are actual actors. Sure, sit down. And then she's like, this is Eleanor, our youngest lead actor. Joyce cannot. Her face is like
face crack. Oh. Was she jealous of this child being in a play? In a play. Like, in
a damn high school play.
In high school.
That is this person, man. Listen, Joyce Wong, I'm sorry, she's dead to me. This is your face should not crack when you hear something exciting about your child. Like, it baffles me. It's not like y'all are in competition for this role. And it was like, they weren't saying Eleanor is the best actress they've ever seen or something like that. It was just, this role is for her. She's the lead in this role, and her mom just cannot take it.
No. And you know what's interesting? Like, I feel like a lot of moms would get like so into it, like dance moms, and they would be like, yeah, I'm living through my kid because of my failed acting, which I think Eleanor would actually appreciate and love. But like, this woman can't even do that. Like, oh, it's awful.
She's worst mom of the year. This was terrible. It broke my heart seeing Eleanor have to experience that, thinking her mom would hug her when she hears that she's the lead in this play. And she wanted to like show off to her mom, look, I'm following in your footsteps. This is your family legacy that I'm fulfilling. And the mom just sat there and turned green with jealousy and got out of there so fast. I think maybe it inspired her. She was so inspired by Eleanor's talent that she had to go take her talents elsewhere.
Okay, LeBron. Like, you said
right.
No. Okay.
This is the worst. This is the worst. It's so stupid because it's like Eleanor's up there killing it. She's on stage and her mom sees how good she is. And she's like, yeah, but what about me? Like, what am I doing with my life? My child obviously has a acting career because she's the lead in this one play. So now I must take off and leave her high and dry without saying goodbye.
Leave a note, y'all.
A note.
Leave a note. Oh my God.
In like 2018.
Yeah, in the
you could have texted her. You could have called her, FaceTime. Hey, something came up. I got another audition for NCIS. You could have done something. No. She did this to go to Broadway. She just left her up there. I can't. It's unforgivable. Unforgivable. I hope we never see her again in the series.
Yeah, she can kick rocks because literally, while this is happening though, Devi gets a text from Paxton to say, "Come over. I need you. You owe me."
Oh,
he hit all the points.
And then Fab also shows up and says, and then tells Devi exactly what we just talked about. This is so ratchet because, Eleanor has quit the play, right? And is like, she's quit the play. Fabiola's like, I'm going to go get the oils. You do a monologue for her. Like, we'll get her back. And then Paxton sends the "you owe me" text. And that's where the curtains draw. And that is it, y'all.
No. We have to call our girl out. Devi went in the wrong direction, y'all. She did. She did not follow Fabiola. Y'all. She went in the other direction. You were supposed to. This is your moment to pick between your friend and this guy who has been ignoring you. He's been ignoring you. He legit has a new girlfriend. You would have been fine. Turn your phone off. Go handle this, and then turn it back on later on and say, "I'm sorry, my phone was off, or I was asleep, or something." Like you can lie to Paxton, you cannot lie to Eleanor in this moment.
Let him come over. You can go over later. Here's the thing, ladies, or you know what? No, here's the thing, people. But like, really, girl code. He can wait. He can always wait because guess what? They're like buses. One leaves, another one will show up. Okay,
15 minutes.
So don't ever let some man have you like wilding out for your friends because like I know I was making fun of my friends, but like I'm that friend. Well, I'll like leave everything to like be there for you. So it's wild that this is even a thought for her. Like I'm sorry, like I can't imagine as a teenager like you making like this is a lifetime worth of friendship over a lose. Like I'm sorry, Paxton's like hot, but like he's a loser at the end of the day. Like he gives you zero attention. He does not care. His friends make fun of you. He like hides you and he's using you for like a good time.
Mom. This isn't just a random person. This is her best friend's mom who came out of the blue and now left her high and dry. And she's just like responding to a text.
Devi started this.
Yeah, this is Devi's fault. Yeah. Eleanor was like, I'm texting with my mom. We're taking it slow. And Devi's like, or let me go to the restaurant and bring your mom to the school, basically. You're like, this. And then we'll all go to my house and bake cookies. Devi set all this up. She put all this in motion. And so for you to not be there and take accountability for your part in this, at the very least, Devi, this is the ghetto. Don't do this. This is bad. And it's heartbreaking for me because Eleanor is basically following her mom's footsteps on purpose. Like she misses her mom that much that she wants to be just like her. I want to go and be on a cruise ship. I want to go do NCIS. I want to go to Broadway. So she's doing this to make her mom proud of her. And her mom has no patience for it. And then her best friend, one of them, just leaves her high and dry for a boy who she's been lying about sleeping with. The ghetto. All of it ghetto.
No, it's just like ratchet behavior. Like absolutely. This is like, listen, I'm ride or die, Devi, but like, girl, what are you doing? This is where it's like, who's worse, Zoe Johnson from Grownish or Devi? Like that's where I feel because my God, these girls are a mess.
Yeah.
And how does Devi expect her best friends to take her back now? She's been up and down with them, lying to them, going back to them, apologizing, doing these girl-only sleepovers, and now she's just doing it again. Another thing against her, and it's really useless. Showing them she's a bad friend. And she's taking them for granted. And poor Eleanor does not deserve that in her moment right now. She needs all her friends there.
This is tough. Devi, yeah, come on, man. We rooting for you here at the Silent Podcast, but man, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Oh and I no spoilers, but like, oh my God, like y'all will see why she goes, and you know, you might get a little more angry, or you might not. I don't know. It depends on what type of human being you are.
This really riled me up when I watched it a month ago. It's going from episode 7 into episode 8 and seeing what Paxton's emergency was. And how Devi prioritized that over her lifelong best friend. But y'all will get into it next week. I don't want to spoil anything, but come back and listen to it because crazy, wild things happen in the next few episodes of this season.
Some dragging will be happening. Just get ready, people. Oh my God. And that like ends this episode. Anything else, y'all?
No, I think we covered a lot of the big points that I had. Jason, what do you got?
This is pretty much it for me. I just want to thank y'all so much for letting me come on and talk about this great show. It's so entertaining. I laugh watching Never Have I Ever the show, and I laugh even harder listening to y'all recap it. It has been killing me laughing. So I just want to thank y'all for doing this, and thank everyone for listening and watch all the episodes. Get ahead of us. Like season 2 is worth it, and I cannot wait until season 3 is back on our screens.
Again cannot believe season 3 wasn't already renewed. Because Chappell, I think I saw your tweet first where it was like, we're renewed for season 3. What? Like,
why did it take this long?
It should be until they're in college. Like at least.
At least.
Oh my God.
And God forbid they go to college and all be together at the same. Well, I don't need that kind of grown-up stress, okay? I don't need that stress.
Well, then it will legit be like we were in college. So that's why maybe like these become patron only. I don't know. Because I can't be out here sharing those stories.
The wholesome, cute stories too. I gotta keep those to myself.
Oh my!
Yeah.
Not the
I want to see the
wholesome
model
cute.
UN come back, and I hope that's covered in a future episode. That was one of my favorites in the first 7. It was so entertaining. I never did anything like that in high school, I guess. Well, I guess maybe I did in the youth group thing, but not representing other countries, setting off nuclear wars against my friends. And I just loved that scene when she's like crumpling up the paper. You got nuked. You got nuked.
I've definitely been that mad at people and done it. But oh my God. But anyway, thank you so much, Jason, for real. You were such a joy to have. Can't wait for other people to hear you on this podcast. So what's going on with you? Where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at @TheRealJO. It's popping up right below my name right now. Where I'm covering, I post a lot about reality TV, like shows in the US, international shows, International Survivor, covering Survivor South Africa on Silent Podcasts every week with Sasha. Catch us. It's there. I'm still a Stantony. Only a few more days until the next episode when I can still be the biggest stan for my favorite player that season. But I will change my name on the screen next week. So it won't be Stantony forever, unfortunately, even though I'll always be a Stantony.
Period.
In case you can't tell, I love Survivor South Africa, and everyone should watch it. Whether you listen to us or not, watch the season.
And listen to us because why
and
aren't
give us
you?
5-star reviews.
Yeah.
Right. We love that.
Yes. And Chappell, what about you?
As you know, you can find me on Twitter at Chappell's_show, where I'm just tweeting pretty much stream of consciousness, always tweeting, always be tweeting. That's me. But Rob and I on Rob Has a Podcast recently covered our weekly reality show from the past on the RHP Rewind. I think we did The Real World. So and we had LaTanya Starks as our guest. So that will drop sometime this week. And then I believe Wednesday I will be on Rob Has a Podcast covering Big Brother, the recap for the Big Brother episode as well. And then every week Jessica Leese, myself, and sometimes AJ Mass are covering The Walking Dead on postshowrecaps.com. And so I got a lot of stuff going on right now, but like I said, I'm easily located at Chappell's_show.
Yes. And as for me, you can find me on Twitter at funsize_04. I also, in addition to my 2 co-hosts being here and sharing everything else I do, I host a Rahap Up for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, where I chat about mess and more mess, and all the mess. So, join. The new episode just dropped last week. I had Asia on. I've had amazing guests on. I'm still trying to secure the next week's guest. But as always, it's a fun time. I feel like it's just me talking with my friends and gossiping about hip hop that we were into in high school. So if you like any of that, please go check it out. Listen to me. Let me know what you think about it. It's really new. And if you're listening to us on Apple, remember to leave us a review. If you're listening to us on Spotify, make sure you follow us as well. And if you're listening to us on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, and share this video. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're a baby channel. Help us out. And we are on Twitch as well. This isn't on Twitch, but we are on Twitch. So subscribe on there. That we have a lot of reality TV, scripted TV. The challenge is another thing we're covering as well. So thanks so much for listening, everyone. Goodbye.